Are you ready? Are you ready? No. Well, I am ready, so we're going to get this party started. Good morning and welcome to Unity of Tucson. How is everyone this glorious, glorious day? I'm Reverend Dr. Jonathan Zenz. I am the senior minister here. I like to have a good time, so I'm going to encourage you to have a good time, and we're going to start this good time. If you are able, you can follow the directions of this opening song. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Woo! I have a lot of energy today, as opposed to any other day. Yes? Today's daily word is alive. Are we alive? Glorious, glorious. So once again, welcome to Unity of Tucson, where we are living life to the fullest. That's what it's really all about. Living a high-quality life, and I believe that the principles of New Thought have contributed to me living a high quality of life. So we're going to talk all about that today. Now, one of the things that I've been doing every week is inviting everyone to, right at the top of the celebration, to get your phones out and to turn your ringers off, but also feel free to take notes, to take pictures, to post on social media, and let's let the entire world know where the love is this morning. What do you say? Yeah. Now, our purpose here at Unity of Tucson is to provide a safe and loving and inclusive space where all people can explore those principles of New Thought. As I often say, those are the tenets that we teach. That's the philosophy that we teach. It's called New Thought. And we do this in order that we may master spiritual understanding, find personal purpose, and develop a spiritual path. So that's what New Thought has done for me. And I invite you to consider that may be the reason that you have been drawn to this experience here today, even if you're brand new, if you've never been here before. And here's the thing I want you to know about that. You are here on purpose, whether you know it or not. You are here on purpose. We're all here on this plane of action on purpose and with purpose and for purpose. So let's celebrate that today. Now, you may not believe everything you hear today. I like to remind everyone of that every single week, except for Laura, who believes everything that ever comes out of my mouth. Oh, no, no, no. We're not going to have any of that. So here's the thing. If something butts up against your belief system here today, my encouragement to you is to just be willing to take a look at it, free of judgment, free of opinion. Just say, that's a different idea. And maybe I can look at that and see if that idea is something that I would like to adopt in my life. And if so, great. And if you don't want to adopt that idea into your life, that's fine too. You get to decide. One of the primary tenets that we teach here is that we are individuals, we are individualizations of an infinite power and presence that we choose to call God in this forum, and that with that, we are all empowered with choice in our lives. So we get to decide what we believe, what we think, and how we feel, and allow our lives to unfold from that point of view. So that's my encouragement to you. Be willing to be on the journey of skepticism today. I love skepticism. We do have a vision and a mission here at Unity of Tucson. And I would love for us as a community to first say out loud these words of our vision statement. Here they are. We envision a world awakened to its magnificence. And the vision is a manner in which we may choose to see the world. The mission are steps that we can incorporate into our lives that will allow that vision to come into expression. So let's say these words of our mission statement together. Love only, forgive everything, remember who you are. Take a moment to just acknowledge that mission in relationship to the vision. Can we, through love only, forgiving everything and remembering who we are, awaken ourselves and everyone in our sphere of influence to magnificence? That's what we're all about here. That's what we're all about here. So just consider that for a moment. Now, I've already made a slight acknowledgement to anyone who may be here for the first time. I do want to say hello to everyone who's joining us for the first time online. If you're watching live this Sunday morning, or if you're watching at another time in the video archives, it is a delight to be able to share this experience with you, and just know that your energy is felt here in the room as well. If you go to unitytucson.com/connect, you can also, we're very technologically advanced here, you know. You can scan the QR code that comes up on your screen and it will take you right there. I mean, like I say, technology. It's an amazing thing. But we would love to have you fill out some information there, and we will continue to engage in this conversation. Once again, thank you for those of you who are watching online for being with us today. If you are here in the room for the first time today, as you were coming in, you may have been invited to receive a gift. If you did not receive your gift and you're new to us, please feel free to get that gift at the welcome table at the completion of the celebration today. But there is something else that we like to share with you if you are new. And so if you are comfortable, only if you're comfortable with identifying yourself as someone who's here for the first time today, would you either raise your hand or stand up so we can welcome you? Is there anyone who's joining us today for the first time? Wonderful, welcome. Grateful to have you here. Grateful, grateful, grateful. And here's what it is that we would like you to know. This is what we know about you. Are we ready? On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. You are magnificent. Yes, you are. And so thank you for joining us. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your magnificence. And I think that we should all affirm for ourselves the sense of magnificence we each have for ourselves. Shall we say this affirmation together? I am magnificent. Let's do that one more time. I am magnificent. Yes, indeed. Well, speaking of magnificence, we have a magnificent ceremony that we have adopted here at Unity of Tucson to honor the faith traditions of the world, the religions of the world, all the spiritual paths that exist. With this at the core of this ceremony, that every single one of them we teach is rooted in love. And so we celebrate all traditions here. Here to do that are today's keepers of the flames. Please welcome Lorraine Pritz and Beryl Varno.
Good morning. Good morning. Ready? We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to divine love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. This final candle is the healing candle. It represents the revealing of divinity at the core of all experiences. This is your candle for whatever is in your mind and heart that requires the light. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine. This is the peace candle. If you're new to our community, we keep the peace candle consistently illuminated as a reflection of a consistent illumination of peace in our own hearts. And as we allow our inner peace to inform our thoughts, our intentions, our relationships, as we allow our inner peace to inform every aspect of our lives, right where each and every one of us is, we become a beacon for and an expression of peace. We are the center of world peace, every single one of us. So let's honor that understanding by sharing together this prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace reigns in the world. Indeed it does. Each week, one of our glorious ecclesiastical leaders offers a reading, guides us in the monthly affirmation, and also guides us in prayer. Here to do that is one of our glorious prayer chaplains. Please welcome Mary Alls.
Good morning. This month, imagination was our affirmation. Remember when you could pretend and the entire world was ours? Remember how we used the power of imagination every day when we were kids? Well, imagination is one of the 12 God-mind powers that we all possess. Last Monday, at the request of my older brother in Georgia, he said we needed to talk on the phone to say goodbye. His medical treatments were getting the best of him. He just wanted to go to sleep and not wake up. I reminded him how grateful I was to have been his sister and how much he was loved. I also let him know it was up to him and his free will as to whether he decided to transcend or stay. As of today, he is not ready to give up and he's still with us. Yeah. Well, after we hung up, I thought about how many times he had rescued me in this lifetime. I remember a game we played as children. My middle sister somehow came upon this giant ball of string. And she imagined this game one rainy afternoon. And we called it Scooper Wind. Okay. I have 4 siblings and this sister. So the 5 of us could really play a game. And how it worked was we had 3 beds in our bedroom. And one bed was a safe haven or the master ship. And the other 2 beds were places you never wanted to go. They were places like Mount Everest without a coat, the swamps surrounded by alligators. You just name it, and you never wanted to be there. And it was the fact that a victim, one of the four of us that stayed back, I shouldn't say 4 of us, there were actually 5. Excuse me, I'm forgetting one of them. But one of the 5 got blown off by these giant scooper winds to one of these horrible places. And it was up to the 4 remaining siblings to rescue this person. And the person who was a victim got to make up the circumstances. And it could be dinosaurs, it could be dragons, it could be you fell into a crevice. They were in control of what went wrong. Now, the other 4 of us had to rescue this person. And we all had to get together, and it had to be done with compassion and this giant ball of string. Now, you're laughing, but that ball of string represented a lifeline of love. So it always had to be with love. Well, we took turns doing this. Hundreds of times we rescued each other. And it became a way of life. When the brother that I have here that some of y'all know was 5, I started the kitchen on fire. And he came and put it out. He literally rescued me and the house. At 25, the sister who had the ball of string ended up losing her kidneys. And she had to have a transplant. The 4 other siblings all got DNA tested. 3 of us matched, and we went through the process of getting approved. Luckily, at the last minute, she was awarded a cadaveric kidney from somebody who had lost their life, and we didn't have to give her one of ours. So I still have mine. Yeah. Teresa, the ball of string girl, became a nurse, and she rescued us every time she was needed when we were sick. Joanne, my baby sister, rescued us all by taking care of my mother for 10 years while she declined. When my first husband transcended, all 4 siblings rescued me in so many ways. When my sister, who lost her kidney, died 5 years ago, my older brother, the one that I talked to on the phone, took me out into his pasture, and he had a herd of horses. And he had me stand with him in this herd of magnificent animals, and they literally rescued us. I don't know if my brother and I truly said our last goodbyes. I hope not. We talked about how it was to be in between lives and the unconditional love you receive. We also talked about how we would see each other again, maybe in another life, and we could do this all over again. But I do know it occurred to me that when we were talking, we were rescuing each other with love. All of this is because of my sister's imagination, a giant ball of string, and a rainy day. She changed all of our lives with imagination. Can you imagine that? Okay. Our affirmation is, I'm going to say it the first time, and then we'll follow it with y'all joining in the second and the third time. My imagination is a vivid blueprint of unfold goodness in my life. All right, all together. My imagination is a vivid blueprint to unfold goodness in my life. One more time. My imagination is a vivid blueprint to unfold goodness in my life. Yay!
Prayer is beautiful. You know, prayer can also be high energy. It doesn't always have to be prayer. But we're doing a song now that's going to make it seem like it should be prayer. You get to decide. Take a moment and relax.
So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. 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 I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love.
Breathe, relax, and turn your attention to your inner self. I open and create a space for new understanding, relaxing to what I know is possible. I use the power of imagination to create what I wish to see in my life. From this relaxed space, let thoughts focus on the infinite truth of being. One power, one presence, the power of love, light, wisdom, and the ever-present good. Relax and reflect on the truth that God is our identity. God is I am. Everything is entangled, connected in every way through God, divine power that exists in the infinite. the same power that exists in us. This is a personal part of our collective prayer. I'm going to pause for a few seconds and you imagine what it is you want to appear in your life. Remember, wherever you are, God is, and wherever God is, you are. In accepting the gift of the prayer is answered, we are empowered in spiritual awareness and welcome that your prayer is fulfilled right now. Instant results right now, not in the future, but right now. And so it is. Amen.
I will share, 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 I will share this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love. So sacred, so secret, so precious, this love, this love, this love, this love.
Thank you.
Imagination is an extraordinary gift that we all have, and I am so grateful that we got to put the imagination of so many of our community members on display yesterday at the Discover Your Genius workshop presentation. Mary was one of those who presented yesterday, and so thank you for that. Also Bill and Dawn and Wendy, thank you so much. Another person that presented yesterday was the person who's also our guest vocalist today, and I'm so delighted whenever she shares her gift of music with this community. So here with our featured song today, please welcome Beryl Varno.
Good morning. I see you out there in fiber optic land. This is my love song to my Unity community. Thank you. I love you all. Don't mind telling you in my humble fash that you thrill me through with a tender pash. When you said you care, imagine my emotion. I swore then and there, permanent devotion. You made all other people seem blah. Just you alone fill me with awe. It's wonderful. It's marvelous. Come on. You should care for me. It's awful nice. It's paradise. It's what I love to see. You made my life so glamorous. You can't blame me for feeling amorous. It's marvelous that you should care for me. It's magnifique, it's what I seek. That you should care for me. It's elegant, oh, it's what I want. It's what I love to see. My dear, it's a four-leaf clover time. From now on, my heart's working overtime. It's exceptional, it's no bagatelle. That you should care for, that you should care for, that you should care for me.
Yeah. Yes. It was wonderful. Thank you, Beryl. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's marvelous. Whenever we do sort of an American standard, it always makes me think of the time I spent living in New York City in the late 90s, where I was very heavily involved in like the piano bar cabaret scene and loved going to that kind of entertainment. And of course, you hear the entire songbook, the entire American songbook, and all the standards, the American standards. And this, of course, is one of those primary songs you hear all the time. And the joke that always gets offered is the song was written by George and his lovely wife, Ira. Now, if you know the relationship of George and Ira Gershwin, you would know that they were both brothers. Ira is George's brother, so it was. But every single cabaret performer would make that same joke. That song was first written in 1927. It was written for a Broadway musicale, go figure, called Funny Face, and it was introduced by Adele Astaire. Did you know that? Do you know who Adele Astaire is? Fred's older sister. Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, that had nothing to do with anything that I'm going to talk about spiritually today. I just wanted to let you know that that was something on my mind. Yes. I'm going to ask you, I want to start with a question, as I often do. I would like you to consider for yourselves for just a moment what comes up for you within as I ask this question. How do you feel at any given time? Just consider, how do you feel at any given time? What is kind of the main consistent feeling you feel throughout your day? Do you feel ease of peace? Do you feel the healing energy of compassion? Do you feel the creative power of love? Are those feelings that are consistent and prevalent throughout your day? Or do you feel something else? I know sometimes I'm driving in my car and I have Sirius XM radio, and sometimes I will turn on to like the simulcast of CNN or MSNBC. And I'll tell you, those are not the feelings that I have in relationship to what I'm hearing. And I have to remind myself in those instances, no, stop. First of all, turn it off and allow yourself to move into the feeling that is ease of peace, the healing energy of compassion, and the creative power of love. I remind myself actively in those moments. Because that is our foundational nature. Our foundational nature is ease, compassion, and love. But boy, are we taught other things. We had a conversation, I don't remember. I have had so many conversations that have all melded into one in the last 24 hours. I don't remember. I know it was in this building, but I don't remember if it was yesterday or today, where we were talking about how glorious it is that as children, we don't not know who we are. We know we are aspects of infinite creative energy. And boy, do we express it, and then we're taught something else. But the truth is, each and every one of us, irrespective of what we have been taught, are that energy. We are ease and compassion and love because those are the attributes of God, of this infinite divine creative source energy. Not a guy out there with a beard, but the energy of creation. These are the attributes of a universal wholeness. Therefore, they are the attributes of each and every one of us. This is our fundamental nature and the nature of everyone. And I do mean everyone in the world, whether they know it or not. Because the nature of a person sometimes may not be reflected in the expression of their behavior, because they have been told and taught something else and they've chosen to believe it. But we know the truth in this place, right? We know the truth. Why people act like that? I mean, other than they've been taught something else, I can't really answer that. Because I think there's probably, well, at least if you're around me, I'm going to tell you all the time, irrespective of what's happening in your life, I know the truth about you. I know the wholeness that is you. I know that you are ease and grace and compassion and love. And I see nothing else. I choose to see nothing else. So, even if we may behave in ways that contradict our core identity of love, that's not the truth of who we are. We have simply forgotten who we are. That's it. That's what leads us into the behaviors, and I'm including myself in this. I know it's going to be a shock. I have behaved in unloving and unkind ways at moments in my life. I know. Can you believe it? It's the truth. But it was only during those moments when I forgot who I was and I forgot who everyone around me was. That's it. Because if I know who I am and I know that truth about you, why would I treat you in a way that was not kind and loving and respectful? But that takes work because we are empowered in a different direction. And I will say, we are empowered in a different direction. And it is an empowering because we have everything telling us, oh, you're right. Actually, it's so funny. I was going to say I'm going to preach hellfire and brimstone today. This is kind of that moment because so many of us were brought up with the idea of hellfire and brimstone, and so we had to shy away and we had to diminish ourselves, to forget who we are, and so we started to become suspect of everyone around us. That is not the truth of your being. And I still think sometimes I should go out on 4th Avenue with one of my metaphysical books in hand and just shout at the top of my lungs, "You are not a sinner. You are the expression of infinite love. You are light, you are life, you are divine." Imagine if that's what the preachers on the street were saying. Inviting us all to the greatest understanding and expression of the truth of our being, to know who we are and who everyone else is. We are universal wholeness because universal wholeness is just that, universal. It is infinite. It is expressing through everything. Some of us like to call that universal wholeness life. Life, right? Living life to the fullest. Well, that can also say that we are living God essence to the fullest, that we are living reality to the fullest, because the religionist calls it God. The philosopher may call it reality. It is infinite energy coupled with limitless creative imagination. So what are we imagining our lives into being today? Are we imagining our lives into being that string of love that is going to save us from all that other stuff out there? I almost said it. Use your imagination. Here's the thing. The most powerful thing you can do, is to become the expression of your own imagination. That is the most powerful thing you can do, because your imagination is your share of an infinite imagination. I think that's what Myrtle Fillmore truly tapped into when she heard those words in the E.B. Weeks lecture when she was suffering from tuberculosis, and she heard the words, "I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness." That activated her imagination to think in terms of the possibility of healing. And that imagination took effect. And it took a couple years for her to really embrace that and embody it. But she healed herself from tuberculosis through the power of her mind and utilizing her imagination. That's what we are all empowered to do. She is not an exception to the rule. Jesus is not an exception. They are great expressions of the rule, and we are all part of that wholeness. So I like to live in the idea of infinite possibilities, of infinite light, of infinite love, because possibility is aspirational. It is aspirational thinking, believing, and feeling that is the first step to a transformed life. Why do we show up here on a Sunday? For fun. Yes. Why else? To remember who we are. To remember who we are, to be reminded, oh yes, I remember. I know who I am. I remember who I am. I remember who you are. What happens when you walk out to the parking lot and get in your car and you leave? You know, I often say, and I haven't said this on a Sunday in a long time, but it is my desire ultimately to put myself out of business. What does he mean by that? It means that I have shared the doctrine, and people have taken to heart the doctrine to such a degree that we don't need to show up and have reminders like this anymore. We're just living that magnificent life no matter what. I want to put myself out of business. Will you help me do that? There's something that gets in the way, though. Ooh, there's something that can get in the way. Gets in the way of my aspirational possibility thinking sometimes, and that is my bum, bum, bum. I almost need Linda. Here we go. The inner saboteur. Thank you for that. So many of us have an inner saboteur that is at play, that is working in our lives. A person named Anonymous offered this, I saw online once, related to the inner saboteur. Oh, and this resonated with me so much. Anonymous offered this. My therapist said, "The reason you self-sabotage is because it allows you to predict what is going to happen, which is giving you the illusion of self-control." I was like, what? I totally get that. The reason you self-sabotage is because it allows you to predict what is going to happen, which is giving you the illusion of self-control. Oh. I have God bumps, just realizing that has been part of my life. No more. Because I don't need to live with that fear. I don't need to live in the fear anymore. That is a fear response. And in fear, here's the thing, when we are embracing our fears, when we are allowing fear to drive our lives, it invites us to be controlled by outside influences, because we are looking often outside of ourselves for the validation. We had a loss in the comedy community in the last couple weeks. One of my favorite comedians of all time, Bob Newhart. And my favorite sketch he ever did was on Mad TV. And if you know me, you've heard this before, but he did a sketch where he had a patient come into his office, and she said, I'm afraid of being buried alive in a box. He says, I'm going to charge you for the first 5 minutes, and then I'm not going to charge you for the rest of the session because I can cure you in those first 5 minutes. And she says, really? He said, yeah. He says, okay. She tells her story, and he says, okay, I'm going to say something, and I want you to really hear this, and I want you to really embrace this. I want you to really embody this. Stop it! She goes, what? She goes, what? Yeah, stop it. And they continue to have the conversation. But then, of course, the joke is at the end, he says, all right, well, you've gone to your 5 minutes. Now I'm going to really lay it out there. Stop it, or I will bury you alive in a box. Fear is not a productive use of our faculty of imagination. Fear is not a productive use of our faculty of imagination. Our work, the work that we are inviting people into, is to do this, to conceive, envision, and embody the alternatives that will lead us to a high-quality experience of life. All mental ideas, every single mental idea, every idea we have are conceptions of the one mind, the infinite mind of the divine. We perceive them as our own. We perceive them in our hearts and minds as, oh, that's my idea. But it's actually an idea that is expressed through you from on high because we are conduits of the infinite divine power that we call God. So what you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. Anyone ever heard that? Thank you, Napoleon Hill. What you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. Conception leads to vision. Vision is the belief. And our beliefs are setting the limits to our demonstrations of a most magnificent life. So here's the thing I'm going to offer. Expand your beliefs. Start to believe that you are worthy of love. Start to believe that you are worthy of kindness and respect. And guess what's going to happen in your life? That is what is going to be reflected back to you. But it starts right where we are, each and every one of us, right here. Just like the idea of peace starts right where we are. I'm not going to try and coerce peace in the world. I'm going to be the presence of peace in my own life and trust that I am influencing everything in my sphere. That's how we achieve world peace. And we must move beyond just the vision. We must move beyond just the ideas. It is not enough to have just the ideas or the vision, but that's where it starts. That's the imagination at work. The quality of life that we seek is in the embodiment of these principles. And what that means is that every cell of our body is so infused with this understanding, and every cell can be infused with understanding because every aspect, every cell of us is part of the infinite thing we call life. When we embody these principles, it changes. And then, you know what I can do when I'm in the state of mind of embodiment of these principles? I can listen to CNN and MSNBC, and it doesn't affect me adversely anymore because I know who I am. I am not letting myself be controlled by outside influences any longer. Linda Martella Whitsett, glorious Unity minister, wrote this. She said, the future we have been envisioning demands one thing of us, that we be the person who can live in that desired future. What is the future you envision? And do you see yourself, do you vision yourself as being the person who can live in that desired future? Without our embodiment, we will never demonstrate the quality of life we seek. It just won't happen. Embodiment's a hard word because people think, oh my gosh, that's so much pressure. So much work. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so hard to get there because I've not been there for so long. You know what? Stop it. That's your inner saboteur at play. Note that. If that's the voice in your head, you can tell that inner saboteur to shut up. Just stop. Stop trying to convince me of something other than. Stop it. I had an experience in 2016. The glasses come off. Where I had to work in the direction of embodiment. Now, in 2016, I had been a pulpit minister for just under 4 years. So still early on in my ministerial life. I was first licensed in 2011 and took on a pulpit in 2012. So middle of 2016, September. A few weeks before my wedding, I had the experience of waking up, rolling over, and anyone ever had this experience? You go into a spasm in your lower back? I went into such severe back spasm, lower back spasms, it was absolutely debilitating. Like, I literally could not walk without assistance. Now, mind you, weeks before my wedding, and I was like, what is it going to take for this to heal? And I thought to myself, I will dance at my wedding. That's where I begin, with an idea, the imagination. I will dance at my wedding. This will not have any bearing on my enjoyment of my wedding. And then, of course, I start looking all over the place. I look for all the possibilities. What are the ideas that are out there that are related to the lower back? Well, lower back, right there is the sacral chakra. Sacral chakra is related to the conditioning of society, is an idea that's out there. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm about to get married. I am a member of the LGBTQIA community. I'm going to be engaged in a same-sex wedding, and perhaps I'm having an experience of society's feelings that are contrary to that idea. And I'm having a physical expression of fear around that is literally making me debilitated. So that's one idea I have. What good is that if it doesn't lead me to healing? Doesn't matter what the cause is. I must create new cause. And so that's an idea. Wasn't quite there yet. We do live in a society. We live in a society where feelings are not valued, where passion and emotion are frowned upon. So my idea of having this glorious experience of marrying this man who is now, gratefully he's still my husband. So I don't know why that came out like that. I was going to to marry this man who was my husband, but he is still my husband. We live in a society that still frowns upon, some aspects of it still frown upon that idea. And part of what we do is, in this community in particular, we are taught to not lose control, to hold it in. And so I'm holding it in, and I'm holding it in, and I'm holding it in. Well, of course, the physical body is going to act accordingly, to hold it all in, to debilitate you through holding. We get disconnected, ultimately, from our bodies. We get disconnected from our feelings. And so we seek. Another idea that I came across was the work of Louise Hay, which you may all be familiar with. And Louise Hay had this to offer about lower back issues. Lower back issues are related to a lack of support. Okay. So where do I see a lack of support in my life? As I look around, do I see a lack of support? Oh, I need to remember to look in the mirror, because who is ultimately responsible for support? I am. So the healing invitation is to stop all erroneous ideas. Stop it. Full stop. A 100% full stop. Here's the thing. In that experience, my body wouldn't let me do otherwise. I had to stop. I had to allow myself the time to rest, recover, and get my mind in alignment with an embodiment of the truth of my being. And that, coupled with acupuncture, I think is what allowed me to ultimately remember I am responsible for my own support, and it did allow me to dance at my wedding. What I thought I was lacking was not from out there, it was from within myself. And when I had that revelation, I remembered I am empowered to live the most magnificent life possible, and I don't need to be stopped by a physical expression of something otherwise. I am in charge of that physical expression. It is all rooted in those ideas: peace, love, compassion. So I'm going to call back to that question those questions I started with today. Do I feel ease of peace in my life? Do I feel the healing energy of compassion in my life? Do I feel the creative power of love in my life? And are those the dominant feelings in my life, or is it something else? Because in order to resume from a full stop, which I experienced, I was called to return to peace, love, and compassion, and the infinite call to not just return to that within, but then to also remember that I am the beacon of that expression in the world, as are we all. This thing called life, this thing called God, this thing called reality, coupled with imagination, was the invitation that allowed me to dance at my wedding, and I am so grateful. I am so grateful for this healing presence, knowing that I am that healing presence. I was the one who was in charge. Let us never get to the point where life stops us. My experience was life inviting a full stop and an opportunity to resume realigned with my inner nature. So today's call: resume in peace, resume in love, resume in compassion, all in service to the self. Peace and blessings. You are magnificent. If you are new to our community, I give a home practice every week as a way to take the lessons that I've offered and invite you to actually put them into play in your life. So the home practice this week is to find time each and every day this week to stop. Let that stop be purposeful. Full stop. Full stop. In those full stop moments, reflect on peace, reflect on love, reflect on compassion, and what these things mean to you as you. Then resume aligned with what you find. Let that be a practice daily this week. Full stop and resume. I invite us all to take a stop in this moment as we relax. Seeing if there's any kernel of an idea that has resonated more profoundly today than any other, letting that vibrate in the heart space as we allow.
In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is peace. There is peace. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment there is peace. In the stillness of this moment, there is love. There is love. In the stillness of this moment, there is love. There is love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in In the stillness of this moment, there is love.
Right here in this moment, I root myself in the affirmation, in the affirmed knowledge, resolutely, that there is only one infinite creative source. There is only one power, one presence, one light, one love. There is this greatness on demand, God, and nothing else exists. And so everything in the realm of perception and everything beyond the realm of perception is part of this infinite wholeness. Everything is divine. Everything. To the far reaches of the universe and beyond, everything is the outflow of divine creative energy, God. And this is who and what we are. This is our identity. We are that which is. We, each and every one of us, is the I am that I am. And so I hold firm in this state of faith that the words I speak right now are the words that are impressing upon this infinite creative source to create in the lives of each and every one of us. And so I call upon this source to allow the opportunity for love, peace, compassion, ease, joy, kindness, respect, understanding, and infinite imagination to take hold of the outflow of our lives, that we are each and every one of us empowered in allowing the outflow of the divine in every aspect of our lives. And there is nothing that is in the world of form that seems contrary, that has any bearing on the truth of our being. We are that which is. And so I trust to know that each and every one of us acts accordingly, rooted in this divine identity. And it is with magnificent gratitude and appreciation overflowing that I let this feeling take over. For feeling is the fuel in the infinite creative engine. I let it be so, and I trust it as so. And I affirm it by saying, and so it is. Amen.
In the stillness of this moment, I am love. I am love. In the stillness of this moment, I am love. I am love. And I rest and trust and breathe and know that in the stillness of this moment, I am love.
Thank you. Just take a breath. Allow yourself to feel what needs to be felt. In this moment, I choose to feel and recognize love. And I choose to allow love to guide me in this activity, the activity of giving. And so I invite each and every one of us to take out whatever it is we are choosing to share with this spiritual community here today in terms of a financial supportive gift, and hold it in your hand. Perhaps even hold it to your heart. And if you give electronically, you can grab one of those cards in the back of the seat and allow that to be the representation of your method of giving. Recognize that what you hold in your hand, what you may hold to your heart, is the activity of love in action. And so giving is an intentional allowing of love to circulate. Giving is a spiritual practice for me, and I encourage and invite us all into that spiritual practice of giving. For money is God in action. And so as the baskets go around, let us celebrate that understanding. We're going to sing the abundant celebration song.
I celebrate By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. One last time, I celebrate my abundance today. By giving this gift, I show my faith. As I open my heart, my world becomes a better place. Yes, it does. I release all fear as I share gratefully. This love that I give always gives back to me. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself. Knowing my oneness with everything else, I know that all that I give to myself.
How are you doing, Laura?
I am fabulous.
Yes, you are.
Alive, happy,
This is
delighted
our
to be here.
magnificent lead prayer chaplain. She is going to guide us today in the blessing of the offering. Please welcome Laura Cass.
Wonderful. And we do bless together. How grateful we are.
Yes.
Grateful, grateful. Together, we bless these gifts, and we see these gifts going out and blessing our community and the world. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, thank you. All right, here is what is happening at Unity of Tucson. Take it away. Take it away.
It's Sunday, July 28th, 2024, and here's what's happening at Unity of Tucson. Have you secured your tickets for our most anticipated event of the year? The Beyond Horizons Ball, Unity of Tucson's 2024 Gala, is happening on Sunday, November 3rd. Join us at the prestigious Skyline Country Club for an evening filled with elegance, celebration, and community spirit. The night kicks off with a lively social hour and an exciting silent auction, leading into a decadent dinner and a night of dancing you won't want to miss. It's not just an event, it's an experience. Grab your tickets now at the Desert Light Book and Gift Store and be a part of this extraordinary celebration. Become a valued sponsor of the Beyond Horizons Ball. We're inviting you to shine as a sponsor at the $1,000, $2,500, and $5,000 levels. By stepping up as a sponsor, you not only support our unforgettable annual gala, but also ensure the future of our vibrant spiritual community. This is your chance to make a significant impact. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please reach out to our administrative team. And thank you for supporting Unity of Tucson and making this event truly spectacular. The Sophia Women's Group is working actively to support children in the Tucson Unified School District, and we need your help. Please donate brand new socks, underwear, and backpacks for boys and girls. Look for the socks box in the alcove near the foyer to drop off your donations. Together we will make a big impact on the lives of these kids. Your generosity supports their success. And join Sophia, Sisters of Faith in Action, Unity of Tucson's vibrant women's group next Saturday, August 3rd at 10 a.m. to noon in Harmony Hall for an exciting time of camaraderie, spiritual deepening exercises, and loads of fun. Don't miss out on this empowering experience with fellow women of faith. Join the Rainbow Lunch Bunch today for an afternoon of connection. Our monthly gathering brings together our spiritually minded LGBTQIA+ community members and allies. Meet us in the Rainbow Room after Sunday service for camaraderie, joy, and a vibrant sense of belonging. Don't miss out on the fun. Experience the bliss with the Unity of Tucson prayer chaplains in a serene and transformative healing circle Wednesday, July 31st at 6 p.m. in Harmony Hall. In this safe, sacred, and nurturing space, embrace the power of conscious healing and find solace in a shared journey towards wellness. Also, don't forget next Sunday, August 4th, is Unity of Tucson's monthly potluck after service. Bring your favorite dish to share and join us in celebrating August birthdays and anniversaries. Don't miss this chance to enjoy great food, wonderful company, and a joyful community celebration. Plan now to attend a night of tacos and trivia here at Unity of Tucson on Saturday, September 21st. There will be a planning meeting August 4th at 11:30 a.m. for anyone interested in making this fundraiser a night no one will want to miss. See Karen Ives or Paula Olson for details. You can find out more about all of our events, classes, and other ways to get involved in our spiritual community by visiting the Desert Light Book and Gift Store or online at unitytucson.com. Have an amazing and magnificent week.
Thank you. A couple of things I do want to remind you that our office administration staff is still on holiday. Tyler is still in Austria having a magnificent time. I'm loving seeing all of the posts he's putting on social media. He and Karimon and Rowan are all there. So the office will be available by appointment this week. If you would like to come into the office or the bookstore, please call ahead just to make sure that I am here or make an arrangement to meet me here. The other thing I want to let you know about is the September 21st fundraiser of Tacos and Trivia. I'm now going to give you a little hint. We're going to have a very special host for that event. This is the hint. You better work. That's all I'm going to say about it right now. Will you please welcome Dee, who's going to tell us about what happened in youth program today.
We had so much fun today. One thing I love about these kids is how creative they are. So every week I like to bring the creativity, I like to bring the paint, I like to bring the googly eyes, and today we made puppets. And so if you ever want to come into our space, we have puppet shows. So we made a bunny, we made a cat. Oh my goodness, we made one that had one eye. I think that's a cyclops. We made that, and we just played with the puppets. So join us for a puppet show if you ever want to venture out to our crazy space.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dee. Thank you so much for magnificently guiding our youth. And thank you to everybody who made today's celebration so extraordinary. I want to say thank you to Lorraine and Beryl for guiding us in the Flames of Faith ceremony today, guiding us in meditation and in the blessing. Laura Cass, thank you so much. The reading, affirmation, and prayer today, thank you to Mary Alls for guiding us in that. Mary and Laura are our prayer chaplains who will be available to you at the completion of the celebration today. They will remain here in the sanctuary. If you would like a moment of prayer, please seek them out. They will be here. You can also submit prayer intentions in the prayer intention box in the lobby, or you can send an email to prayer@unitytucson.com. You can also go on our website, and there's a form you can fill out there. And all of those prayer intentions come to our prayer chaplain core and are also then subsequently submitted to Silent Unity, which is Unity's worldwide prayer ministry. So you get a lot of prayer when you request it here. So please do take advantage of that. I want to thank our entire hospitality team. I want to thank Mark back there, who guides our hospitality team so beautifully. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to say thank you to all of our greeters and our ushers for your magnificent service. Let me say thank you as well to our glorious technical team, Siraj, Don, Aiden, and Kyle back there, and Sherry, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give it up for these extraordinary musicians on stage, Linda and Raphael and Paul. A deep joy in my life to get to create music with you every week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let's please, if you would please come out here and take a bow. Let's hear it for Beryl Varno. Thank you. And let us complete our time here today by sharing together this prayer of divine awareness, which will lead us into our final song. I am infinite light. I am infinite love. I am infinite power. I am infinite presence. Wherever God is, I am. Wherever I am, God is. And so it is. Amen. Feel free to move your body.
If you think there's nothing new under the sun, if it's possible, it's already been done. If you think the stage has all been set, think again. You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun will come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. If you think you finally made your bed, there ain't nothing down that road ahead. If you think this is as good as it gets, wanna bet? You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun will come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it. Believe it, you will see it. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. All mud. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. The sun will come up with a wave of your hand. You're smack dab in the middle of the promised land. It all turned out just the way that you planned. Believe it, you will see it now. Believe it, you will see it. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. And you ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet. Make it a magnificent week, everyone.